Hi.
There you go. All right. There's a little speaker here. So if I had to talk into your mic.
Hi there. What's going on?
So they sometimes have trouble hearing those, but they can hear these little speakers at their seat. So. And then I'd like to get another one of these actually and add it on. And someone needs to walk around, they can walk around this one. Mic is connected. All right, so camera one over there. Test, test, test. Hey, upstairs. Can we have the translator speak into the auditorium mic, please? If you're listening upstairs, please. If you can.
Testing.
Hello? Yes? I thought I heard you, but then it cut out.
Testing. Testing.
Ah, beautiful. You can hear me, my friend?
Yes, I can.
All right, that's what I want to hear. So here I am. I'm at the podium. See if you can get me roughly from like here to here. Is that working? Hi, hi. You got me over there? All right, beautiful. Now let's say, tell them to get me over here. Come get me over here. Same thing, I'm kinda. Right? Now, try and get me, and then try and move over to Ida right here to my left. Smoothly.
what I said to the guys. I'm like, he's out of his mind.
Yep.
He's out of his mind.
He's always been out of his mind. Yeah. Well, if you're gonna help her, don't take pictures of her.
Explain to her, and so what, so you
And
can
it's
tell
not
her
your-
by telling her supervisor
Well-
what's wrong with her?
First of all, it's not his business. He's not her supervisor, whatever, just,
Weird old dude
yes.
who like has to like tell everybody
He's he's always been weird.
he's a weird old man.
He's a weird, yeah. No one liked him at Oyster Bay.
He was just a lifeguard over the summer. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you have a 12-month position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Hello? You guys ready? You guys ready to go? Okay, can everybody stand for the pledge, please? Okay, can we do roll call, please?
Hi, Megan Levine. Hi, Ann Markoulis.
Maria Venuto?
Leah Leone.
Maureen Jimenez.
Okay. Let's see, so we have minutes from the last board meeting, August 21st. Can I get a motion on those? Leah? Ann? Yeah, Maureen was absent, and Angela and Lynn aren't here. Are we going to be able to approve these? Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Meg, okay. So, all in favor of approving the minutes? Okay, so 4 and 1 abstention. Okay, we will move to committee reports. The first committee report is audit.
So for the audit committee, we are 90% complete on closing out the 23-24 school year with our auditors. We were waiting for a couple of items. One came in on Friday. We have to wait for the city to do their lien sale. That's about the middle of September. And I believe the auditor is going to present the findings of the close probably at the October 23rd meeting.
Okay, thanks. Policy committee?
Policy Committee is going to officially meet for this school year Thursday, September 12th at 4:45. We'll also create the 2024-2025 calendar of meetings for Policy Committee at that meeting.
Okay, thank you. Education committee?
Today we had our first education committee meeting of the school year. We explored the literacy program from kindergarten to 5th grade, and we went over how our K through 2 program really focuses on phonics and all of the foundational skills with letters and sounds and phonemes. We then also looked at how students in the 3rd through 5th grade really engage with a variety of texts, including fiction and nonfiction, and participate in book clubs focusing on reading for learning as they progress. We reviewed how our literacy instruction is data-driven and tailored to each student's needs, and it aims to develop proficient, lifelong readers. We will be setting a date for our next meeting, most likely within the next month.
Thanks very much. Okay, so facilities report?
Okay, so I have a report from our Director of Facilities, and actually, it is July and August, because we didn't present last month. So I'll just go over the highlights. So at the high school, the nurse's restroom, bathroom was renovated to meet ADA requirements. Exterior flood doors at the high school, 21 have been installed. The glass installation is in progress. These flood doors are being paid for by FEMA funds through the mitigation program we were part of with FEMA. High school library HVAC system, all units were removed, all the old units were removed, and the roof is being prepared for new unit installations. In the library office, a new drop ceiling was installed by our maintenance crew. And the auditorium and TV studio HVAC, again, old units have been removed and new ones placed on the roof, and the installation of these HVAC units are in progress. At the middle school, nurse's office and bathroom renovated to meet ADA requirements. In the 1910 building, or the link between Daisy and middle school, special ed department has been moved to that area. So new furniture was purchased and installed. They installed some, 5 TV screens were installed in the offices and conference rooms for special ed. Bathrooms down there were renovated, and everyone and all the files from Carriage House have been moved to the new special ed department area. The printers, the data cables, and all that was installed by our maintenance crew, and they did some new floor installation at room 405 at the middle school. Daisy School. So Daisy School, we went out to bid to continue the classroom additions to the Daisy extension. So as far as they started work, emergency egress has been established, the work zone fence was set up, and water and gas lines are being relocated. Naturally, whenever we dig, there are some kind of lines in our way, so they have to be relocated. In the gym at Daisy, an exhaust fan was modified and new louvers were installed. And also at Daisy, temporary parking was created by the field entrance for at least 8 cars. Because of the construction of the extension, actually it took away some parking area in Daisy, so they did some temporary parking areas. Landing School. The classroom, again, the addition in Landing is in progress. Exterior walls and roof construction has been completed. And room 207 at Landing School, a new floor has been installed. So at Landing, I believe the new extension will be complete sometime in the fall of this year. We're actually starting to look at furniture for those classrooms, and everything should be done before the end of this year. When I say this year, I mean December 2024. At Connolly School, the main office and the principal's office, they did floor abatement, and they put in new flooring, and they painted the offices. Also at Connolly, 2 closets and 4 bathrooms were abated, and new flooring was installed. The playground, pea gravel, was removed, and the old fence was removed. And in room 109, a door was installed in the partition wall. And Thayer House, the second floor, part of the second floor, new flooring has been installed up at the second floor at Thayer House. And also, besides all this, a lot of other work has been done over the summer. And our Energy Performance contractors, they are continuing to work, and all our Energy Performance work should be done by the end of this fall.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I just want to thank our entire maintenance staff and Victor. Not only did they complete an exhaustive list of upgrades across the district, but they cleaned and did this work around summer programs that were either from the city in our buildings or our own summer programs at Connolly and at the high school. And I want to say the start of the school year, the buildings looked immaculate. And so kudos to all those that work for our students, work for our community, work for our schools. It was a great effort, and the planning around what got done at what particular time resulted in a beautiful start of the school year. So thank you to Victor and his entire staff.
Thank you, Victoria. Now for the superintendent's report.
All right, so this has been my 43rd opening of school, the 12th of the Glen Cove School District in my experience, and it is just as exciting as it was 43 years ago, probably more so. I want to really talk about each building, the culture of the building, the atmosphere. It was electric. It started with superintendent's conference days and really carried on into the first day where teachers were anxiously awaiting to welcome their students across the district, pre-K through 12th. I know that students were ready to come back to school, some more than others, but all of them, I know I greeted a number of students on the first day at the middle school, then the pre-K students who weren't all ready to join us, but decided to come in anyway and join the group. Many of them helping their classmates come in, so that was always so sweet to see. And Gribben and Daisy welcoming their children today at Connolly, and I will be at Landing tomorrow. I know I shared those visitations with my assistant superintendents, so they were reporting the same at each building in the last 2 days. And I hope that we see that kind of enthusiasm all through the school year, because those smiley little faces are definitely, even the 12th graders, are definitely worth embracing as they come into a building. I look forward to a very successful school year with so much planned, both for our teachers, our administrators, and most importantly, our students. That's really the superintendent's report.
Okay, thanks, Maria. All right, moving on to our first public participation. If you have any questions or comments about any agenda items, please come to Ida and sign in. I don't see anybody doing that. So I just want to let you know that if you're watching virtually, if you ever have questions, you're welcome to email the board at gcboe@glencovschools.org. Okay, so we're going to move on to, what are we up to? Instructional report.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 7 on the instructional report, A, Committee on Special Education, and B, Committee on Preschool Special Education.
Can I get a motion? Megan and Leah? Comments? All in favor? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wake up, ladies. Tell me about it. Okay, so that's 5. And so next, we have business affairs.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, a motion is requested for the approval of agenda item 8, Business Affairs B, Operations 1, 2, and 3.
Motion? Leah and Maureen, any questions on these items? All in favor? 5, okay.
I'd like to thank a certain person in the school district who has given her time to our children time and time again. So I want to thank Evangelina Markoulis for her donation of various school supplies that she collected to be provided to our students. Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You are allowed to be the prom mom right now. I know, you're holding it in.
Yay.
You taught her well.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to personnel.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9, Personnel A Certified 1.
Motion? Megan and Ann, questions? All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9, Personnel B Classified 1.
Motion? Megan and Ann, questions? All in favor? 5.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9, Personnel C Non-Classified 1.
Motion, Leah and Maureen. Questions? All in favor? 5. Okay. Unfinished business, I don't think we have any. New business, voting delegate for NYSBA Annual Convention. Well,
She's not here.
I don't want to speak for Angela, but I think she likes the job.
She does. She does.
But I guess, can we table this? When do we have to let them know, Ida? Oh, so we have plenty of time. Okay, so we'll table it. Yeah, so,
She did, yeah, she did.
yeah, no, she's been interested in, but let's make sure she's here in the flesh to confirm
Do we
that.
have to vote on it?
Just to vote for the
We
delegate.
approve her as a delegate
Oh, I see
for
what
our,
you're saying.
our board. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to board comments. I feel like Megan has something
Yeah,
to say.
I was going to add that over the summer, in July, Ann and I went to the NYSBA Leadership Conference that was held in Albany, and it was a really great, it was like 2.5, day and a half or 2 days. It was a really great, it was smaller than like the annual convention, so it was a little bit easier to talk to people, have like a greater understanding of the presentations and things like that. And I shared a lot of the ideas and thoughts with administration and the board throughout our summer meetings. But it was just great to see, like I felt like the common threads going through the convention were sort of like looking for practical solutions that exist in districts throughout the state to varying degrees. And there was a lot of talk about use of technology and how to integrate it into administration, curriculum, because obviously there's a technology that we're all like really comfortable with and great, and then there's all this emerging technology with AI, and how do we confront this in the classroom? And so there was a lot of presentations and talks on it, and really presented it in ways that were not scary, and giving ideas for how to allow teachers and administrators to get some time back in their lives, give more time to teachers to actually teach their students as opposed to doing other tasks that maybe, whatever it is. And then the other piece, there was a couple, we went to did you go to the absenteeism one, or was that just me? That was interesting to just see the national epidemic of kids not going to school, and how to just practically solve this, like how do you get children back into classrooms, K through 12, not just secondary, but you have to start in elementary looking at that. And then I just thought the other sort of thread going through everything was just setting the atmosphere, setting the tone for your districts. How do you use common beliefs and practices and protocols that work for the culture of your district to just improve the district and, avoid toxic environments and remove toxicity? And it was a very positive talk. It was actually given by Dr. Wortham, who was the former superintendent of Roosevelt, who now lives in Glen Cove. And so she was very welcoming to Ann and I, and it was very sweet to meet her. And she said she
She
voted.
actually has lived
Yeah.
here for
Yeah.
quite a number of years.
She told us that she votes for our budget every year, and we thanked her. We were like, thank you. So it was a great talk, and she was a really wonderful lady to speak with. And so it was just a great experience. I would recommend any trustee who wants to go in the future, because it was just a nice, it was small. So it was like really, you're really able to get into things as opposed to October, which is a little, sometimes can be overwhelming.
If I can just add one thing. So Megan and I did do this together. And one conference meeting that I actually took out was not many districts have student reps. And I'm very, very pleased and thankful that we do have a student rep. This is going to be our third year. And they were just talking about a lot about how students, they bring their ideas to the districts, they bring concerns to the district. So I'm very, very pleased that we do have our student rep. So, yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. You guys have anything to share, or no? Okay, well, I just want to wish everybody a great new school year, and thanks to all our staff and administrators and everybody I know who's working very hard. So I hope it's a great year. I know, just as a heads up, although I think we have one board meeting beforehand, homecoming is early this year and is actually on the 20th of September, so it's a night game. People might want to be aware of that. Okay, so let's move on to our last public participation, which is any item, could be non-agenda items. Just go up, sign in with Ida, and state your name and address when you get to the podium.
Janet Bratton, Grady Street, Glen Cove. I have tried to think of ways to put this kindly, but I don't see anybody up there who's going to take this kindly, so I'm just going to say what I have to say. I started paying very careful attention to the school calendar 13 years ago. And just as our superintendent came in, I noticed that on the website, on the athletic team schedule, that there was a game scheduled on what's called Erev Yom Kippur, the night before the full day of the holiday. Holidays are from sundown to sundown. And I didn't take it to the superintendent, I took it to somebody else outside of the district who has access to people who can take care of the scheduling for our division, whatever division that is in the county. They took care of it. Because kids who were going fast were not going to be able to be at the game. They wouldn't get home. I did eventually take it to the superintendent, and I was told, that's not her job. Well, it was your job. It is your job until you walk out of here. Not for you to do it, but to tell whoever job it is to take care of it. So then I started looking at the rest of the calendar, and I noticed that Jewish high holy days were not listed correctly. At the very best, that's disrespectful. At the worst, it's anti-Semitic. If it's purposeful, if you know about it and you don't do anything about it, it's anti-Semitic. Otherwise, it's because somebody is ignorant, whatever. But if you inform them, then it should be taken care of. Again, I was told, not her job. Was her job. We're now at a point where we have this calendar. This calendar is crap. A calendar should be, for the school district, should be informative, educational, And at the very least, it just, somebody hangs it up in their house and they see school closed that day. It should not be a calendar with no holidays of any sort listed, with filled in, school closed, school closed, school closed, school closed. No Veterans Day, no Memorial Day, no religious holidays, no nothing. During the last school year, the superintendent told me in a phone conversation that I wouldn't have to worry about, in other words, wouldn't be bothering her because nothing was going to be listed. She gave me 4 reasons. The first reason was no religious holidays because it's a public school and I know, but I'm going to keep going.
Keep going.
B, nothing, they weren't going to be listed. And they weren't going to be listed because it's a public school and we have to pay attention to separation of church and state. I gave up that fight years ago when I started teaching. There are things you fight because you think there's some kind of victory, a little bit. So my response to that was, oh, and this really was a smart aleck answer because I knew. Oh, you mean no Christmas trees and no menorahs and stuff like that in the schools? Well, of course, that wasn't going to be true, nor was I advocating for it. So I didn't get any response to that. Then I was given another reason, and the final reason, because I didn't accept any of the first 3, was that our parents would be confused because there's just so much to put on it. Well, there is a district in another state on the East Coast that's much too big to spend. There are so many students, so many families, that they can't take the money that it costs to put together a paper calendar, although they recognize that some people really need that. But it is very clearly on their website. This is not color-coded, so until I can get somebody to print it out for me color-coded, I'm not going to give it to you. But this tells you, shows you, how you can create a calendar that has all those supposed too many days, national holidays, religious holidays, school closed for conference days, half-day schools, days, whatever it is, how it can be done, and how this can be transferred to this to make a reasonably good calendar. Again, this is garbage. I've had 2 people ask me why they don't tell us why the days of the school's closed. What days are these? People born in another country, not educated here, send their kids to school, and hang this up on their wall so they can keep track of when their kids are in school and not in school, and they want to know because they learned something about the country they came to so that their kids could have a better shot at life. This is nonsense. It didn't, in the scheme of things in our budget, it didn't cost a tremendous amount of money, but for the little it cost to put this together, it really was a waste. And I'm not advocating that you don't do it at all, because you tried that once and you heard from people who just don't use computers. It's a valuable thing to have a good school calendar that shows people this day off is because of this religious holiday, or this day off is because of Veterans Day, or this day off is because of Memorial Day. It's a disgrace you don't even have those on this. In the world we live in, and my particular interest had to do with Jewish holy days because I'm Jewish. If you can't be respectful enough to list them, you don't consider it and come up with an idea of how you can just get away with all of them, do away with all of them by not putting anything. I don't care if other districts have calendars this year that are like this. We are not other districts. I haven't counted how many times I've heard all of you And in this, the superintendent's comments, talking about the diversity, the value of diversity in this district. Yes, it is very valuable. Let's try to respect the diversity. We've had Muslim kids in this school district. Their most religious holy days have never been listed on that school calendar. They also, by the way, start at sundown. You put it on, and you put it on correctly, so it's respectful. Don't say we can't do it because the person who puts the calendar together can't get it together to put all those things. Yes, you can. Sit down with me. I'll show you how you can do it and how the calendar will be readable so that next year the school calendar is a worthwhile, informative, educational piece of work put out there by the school district.
Thank you. Do you want to respond to that, or should I? Okay, well, so we talked about this before it was decided, and maybe you guys can help me out here, because I don't remember the complete
Yeah,
conversation.
the
but-
conversation was about Columbus Day, whether or not it should be listed as Columbus Day or Indigenous Persons Day, right?
Right.
So, right, so we thought, and I respect everything that you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, we thought that it would be easier, not easier,
Like more appropriate.
right, to not choose either one or list them in a particular order and just to write, school is closed for every holiday, because we felt people are looking at that calendar just to really know whether school's open or not.
Right, and also I want to say, just sorry to Maureen, I think you were going to chime in, is that obviously, like New York State doesn't mandate only specific religious holidays are mandated by the state, are state holidays. So I also I understand your point of view on what you were saying. So rather than potentially add holidays for religions that are not state mandated and maybe either inadvertently get it wrong, forget others, overlook others, just make another maybe culturally insensitive move that is unintentional. We felt like as a group, we had a discussion over 2 meetings, just so you know, it was like an actually pretty intense discussion. And we determined that our decision was that our primary objective is to inform the community, including parents, when is the school open for their children to attend, whether it's a half day, a full day, or no day at all. So we felt, as we were comfortable with the decision to say school's closed, because the primary objective of the school calendar is to inform the community days that the school is closed or open. And that, I think, is more or less what our discussion was. And it evolved. It was a discussion that started one place and ended another. And but I truly appreciate what you stated.
Okay, you can't
Yeah.
go back.
Oh, Ms. Blatt, you got to speak at the lectern, so let us respond. I mean, it's not a back and forth, as you know. So we're just letting you know of our That's your opinion. Of course, we'll consider it, in future conversations. Okay, thanks. Does anybody else have anything they would like to ask or comment on? This is our last public participation. I see some people in the back.
They're waiting for their
Okay.
siblings, I believe.
Okay, well, in that case, No, I recognize them. Okay. All right, anything else? I think that's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Leah and Maureen, thank you. All in favor? Okay,
All in favor?
we're all in favor. All 5 of us are in favor.